You saw the headline, your pulse spiked, and the timeline went feral. Ryan Reynolds breaks silence replying to Tom Holland amid Doomsday. Breathe. Here's the truth about big crossovers. They run on rhythm, scene rhythm, team rhythm, audience rhythm. When that rhythm wobbles, the internet hears a boom. Did Robert Downey Jr. get angry? Yes, angry like a captain when the ship drifts. Protective, precise, laser focused on what the audience pays to feel. Not a tantrum, a standard. And when a standard lands hard, it echoes. That echo is what you felt online. Now, why the frenzy? One word, timing, a heated notes session leaks into a spicy whisper. The whisper becomes a headline, and suddenly you're choosing sides in a story you didn't see. This is where Ryan steps in. He's not here to pour gasoline, he's here to calibrate. And that starts with framing the stakes. The hinge scene that decides whether the third act sings or stalls. It's not gossip, it's craft. This is also where Tom Holland's megaphone gets loud. He loves you. He plays to the crowd, and sometimes the enthusiasm outruns the edit. Add Pedro Pascal's furnace-level character work. Interiority first, bruises on display, and you've got honest friction that reads like scandal from the outside. But friction is not failure. Friction is how good scenes get great. Command the moment. Don't let rumors steer the wheel. If it isn't on camera or on the record, it's a story in search of proof. Judge the work when you feel it in your chest, not when you see it trending. Tonight, you get the corridor tour, what actually sparked, where the messaging slipped, why the anger was justified but exaggerated, why Pedro was heated, and why Tom's timing turned sparks into fireworks. Here's what happened behind the headline. The room was debating a hinge beat. Do you lift hard into action or linger in Reed's wound? Both instincts are good. Only one wins when the clock turns red. Robert Downey Jr. spoke like a steward, not a brawler. Remember the covenant consequence. Courage, closure. That wasn't ego. That was a compass. Ryan's part? He read the temperature, felt the stakes, and yes, over-exaggerated the heat when recounting it later. Not malicious, just passionate. Selling the sizzle too hot. That's the correction. You're hearing now. Translate RDJ's anger as tempo. Cut the drag. Sharpen the choice. Earn the roar. Captains don't flip tables, they slam the metronome. Why is that fair? Because audiences forgive imperfections, they don't forgive disrespect. You paid to feel something true. RDJ's push was about protecting that truth from getting smothered by cleverness. It's not anti-complexity, it's anti-confusion. You can have bruised genius and lift if the beat pivots at the right second. Twist you didn't see coming. That push saved the beat. Instead of amputating Reed's complexity, the scene aimed it. Keep the moral calculus, slice the sermon. Let the pain breathe, then move. The room changed temperature the moment that clicked. Command, short and sharp. Don't confuse volume with care. Sometimes the quiet no is the loudest note. Ryan's update is the adult one. Robert's intensity was right in principle. Ryan was loud in packaging. The fix honors both. Standard protected, scene accelerated, emotion intact. Picture the moment. Arguments tucked inside commas, not chaos. Early pass, Reed's brittle brilliance holds the floor. Persuasive, painful, long. Powerful on paper, risky in the cut. The pulse dips exactly when it should spike. That's the spark. RDJ flags the covenant. The audience must feel the cost and move. Ryan flags the rhythm. This beat must turn on time. Pedro defends the wound. Don't sand the edge. Nobody's wrong. The order is the fix. Thought, breath, fire. Reed names the price. The room inhales. The decision drops. One tight in line. One surgical exchange. One look that says, we know what this will cost. That's not erasing depth. It's weaponizing it. The internet called it an explosion. What you actually felt was the click of inevitability. Psychology. Check. Audiences will sit in complexity if you pay it off. They'll honor ache if you don't dodge the bill. The hinge now gives you both. Bruise and blast. Conscience and consequence. You won't need a thread to explain it. Your ribs will. Command. Complicated isn't the enemy. Confusion is. If a beat asks you to process and cheer in the same second, sharpen it until they land in sequence. Thought first, then fire. That's how you keep the soul and keep the surge. And if you're looking for a villain, you won't find one here. You'll find a scene that learned how to stand. Yes, Pedro was mad. Mad like artists get when the truth they're protecting feels threatened. That is not a problem. That's a resource. His fuel is interiority. He will fight to keep the bruise visible. You need that. Without it, big movies turn hollow. But ensembles are engines, not altars. Someone must count beats, Ryan. Someone must guard the pact, RDJ. Someone must keep The wound honest Pedro. When those energies fight and listen, scenes get sharper. That's what happened. The bruise stayed. The sermon didn't. The moment got shorter, heavier, truer. Watch the micro tells when teams align. Shoulders loosen, jokes stop scanning for approval, timing returns, eyes meet without flinching. That's not PR, that's craft locking in. Pedro didn't get overruled. He got aimed, and his truth hits harder because it arrives, then moves. Twist in the final rhythm, Pedro keeps the soul of Reed and the movie keeps the weekend. That's the trade that wins. You feel the interior storm, then you feel the team act. Legacy steadies the wheel without grabbing it. Result, the hinge detonation lands with bruise, not bloat. Command, stop treating passion like scandal. The scandal would be apathy. This crew didn't have that problem. They had too much heart, then learned where to put it. Tom's beloved. Tom's loud. Tom loves you enough to talk before the paint dries. That's how sparks become spotlights. The tough love. Line, kid energy, close the mic until picture lock, isn't cruelty. It's discipline. Finish the cut, then speak with both feet on the ground. What actually helps? Theme, gratitude, team. What hurts? Setting temperatures in public while the edit's still hunting for the hinge. Tom didn't betray anyone. He did what enthusiastic stars do in a 24/7 attention economy. He filled the silence. The result was predictable. Rumor machines ate well. Context starved. Here's the adjustment. Tom talks after the scene can talk for itself. No spoilers, no my version, no kitchen heat quotes. Let the work carry the weight. When you hear him now, measured, grateful, focused on audience feeling, that's not muzzling. That's leadership learning to land softly. Command. Big franchises need 3 kinds of courage. On set, in the edit, and at the mic. Tom's got the first 2 in spades. The third is arrived. Speak when it helps, how it helps, and never before. The scene can prove you right. Studios under heat have 3 moves. Delay. Calendars slide. Joints become solos. Quotes get vague. Distract. Stunt reels. Concept art drops. Shiny detours flood the feed. Deliver. The only move that matters. Show. Don't sell. A surgical 30 seconds that proves the spine holds. Without burning the twist, you'll know deliver when you feel the question mark in your head straighten into an exclamation point. Look for who shares frames, who finishes the line, and what word rides the music at the hinge. Cost, choice, lift. If a half glance whispers we know the price and a half line declares we're doing it anyway, the movie just bought Friday and Sunday. Translate the players. RDJ's anger showed tempo. Pedro's mad, rueful meaning. Ryan's earlier spice will lesson learned. Calibration doesn't happen in a caption, it happens in the cut. Command, don't read the press notes, read the pulse. If the trailer gives you resonance, not resurrection. Legacy, steadying, not steering. You'll know the strategy moved from delay, distract to deliver. And when deliver lands, discourse evaporates on contact. Here's the curveball. The controversy was the crucible. Pressure burns off clever and leaves clear. The hinge now lands like a bell. Thought, breath, fire, bruise intact, momentum earned. The room goes quiet before it roars. That's your receipt. Accountability roll call. RDJ, right on covenant. The push protected the pact with the crowd. Pedro, right on honesty. The bruise survived and hits harder. Tom, wrong on timing. The lesson stuck. Ryan, wrong on tone. The correction's in effect. Grown team energy means errors get owned, fixes get made, and the movie gets better. Psychology beat. Audiences don't demand perfection. They demand respect. Show the cost, honor the choice, close the loop. That's how trust returns, and it returns fast when the cut clicks. Command, stop asking who won the meeting. Ask if the scene wins your chest. If the hinge detonates, and your ribs answer before your brain does, the standard held. That's the only scoreboard that matters. Here's how you judge it. No insiders required. Run the 3-beat test on the next preview. Promise. Does it remember why you show up? Consequence, courage, closure, price. Does someone actually pay without a quip to dodge it? Proof. Do 30 seconds make the ending feel inevitable without a single paragraph of explanation? If yes, the covenant stands, trust snaps back, and the noise dies. If no, demand better. Either way, keep your eyes on what counts. The cut. Not a rumor thread, not a backstage smirk. The scene. Final calibration. RDJ's anger was justified. The internet made it louder than it was. Pedro's anger was earned, and it forged steel. Tom's enthusiasm is huge, now aimed by timing. Ryan's reply is this. The standard was right. The story is aimed and the proof arrives on screen. Command one last time. Respect the audience. Respect the arc. Earn the crown. When the hinge drops, Reed's bruise intact, the team aligned, a torch accepted with burn, you won't need anyone to explain what happened in that room. You'll feel it in the breath you hold and in the roar that follows. That's the answer to every rumor you saw this week. Big headline, bigger misunderstanding. The word you saw was canceled. The move behind the curtain was triage. Studios don't swing axes first. They pull spreadsheets. When the Doomsday arc heated up, the slate hit a capacity wall. Overlapping VFX windows, promo corridors colliding, ratings tone whiplash, and a finite pool of eyeballs. A fourth Deadpool was a concept on the whiteboard, not a locked and loaded picture. The call wasn't punish Reynolds, it was protect the pipeline. Here's the math. Two tonal titans, R-rated anarchy, and mythic event movie stakes were about to cannibalize each other's oxygen. Marketing hates mixed signals. If you sell chaos and consequence in the same 30 days, one blurs the other. So the internal conversation shifted from go bigger to go cleaner. Result, Deadpool's next headliner idea moved to the parking lot while a precision Doomsday beat took the fast lane. Attention spike. This is not a funeral. It's a repositioning. Cameos, specials, limited runs, or a post-Doomsday return with sharper air cover. Those are live tools. The short-term pain avoids long-term burnout. Reynolds didn't get benched. The brand got buffered. Twist you didn't. Expect the same pressure that paused Deadpool 4 strengthened his presence where it counts. The hinge moments that sell the weekend. Fewer minutes, more impact. That's how scene economy turns into cultural velocity. Tone shift. Command. Don't. Read canceled as killed. Read it as sequence control. First earn the silence before the roar for Doomsday, then let the merc with a mouth kick the door back in when the room is ready to laugh again. Strategy over sensation. Pipeline over panic. That's how you keep the slate hot without burning it down. You heard the room exploded. What actually happened was the room stopped on purpose. There's a point in every high-pressure note session where words lose altitude. Volume goes up, clarity goes down. The smartest executive in the room makes the bravest call. Pause the people, play the scene. Here's how it went down. The debate over the hinge beat, Linger versus Lift, was looping. A coordinator killed the fluorescence, rolled the temp score, and ran the sequence in the dark. No interruptions, no rebuttals. Just the cut, the breath, the drop. When the lights came back, half the arguments had evaporated. Not because anyone won, but because the scene finally spoke louder than the room. Attention hook. Halfway through that playback, the shouting you read about died on contact. Breathing synced. Pen stopped. The fix became obvious. Thought, breath, fire, and the rewrite map drew itself. Tighten the line. Aim the look. Cue the lift a beat later. Where did everyone land? Robert's heat cooled into stewardship. Pedro's mad refocused into meaning. Ryan's rhythm found a turn. Tom's mic went quiet. Not silence, disciplined. The corridor tells followed. Shoulders dropped. Timing relaxed. Joke stopped checking. The room before they landed. Twist. It wasn't a confrontation that saved the moment. It was silence. The willingness to stop mid-swing and let the work testify. That's rare. That's grown. Tone shift. Command. When the discourse gets loud, ask for the lights down run. If a scene can't argue for itself, the scene isn't ready. If it can, the shouting has nothing left to do. Call it anger if you want. Call it guard duty if you're honest. Robert's fuse isn't for people, it's for drift. Drift from consequence into cleverness. Drift from character into commentary. Drift from the covenant you paid to feel something true. When he bristles, he's not protecting a throne, he's protecting the click that makes a third act inevitable. Attention spike. That posture isn't personal and it isn't permanent. It's a metronome. Tempo when the room slides offbeat. The standard he hammers, cost, choice, closure isn't nostalgia, it's navigation. Keep the bruise, Pedro. Keep the rhythm, Ryan. Keep the mic measured, Tom. Then lock the hinge. Name the price. Take the breath. Drop the decision. Twist. The anger that set the internet ablaze is the reason the air now settles in the cut. Pressure burned off the clever. Clarity remained. That's the only fire. That matters though. Tone shift. Command. Here's your viewer's checklist for the next drop. Promise. Do you feel the film? Remember why you show up. Price? Does someone pay with no edit to spare them? Proof. Do 30 seconds make the ending feel inevitable? If yes, the covenant stands and the noise ends. If no, demand better, cleanly, loudly, without piling on people who are actually trying. That final word. Disney didn't kill Deadpool. It sequenced him. The Doomsday shouting didn't climax. It paused so the scene could lead. Robert isn't mad at them. He's mad at Blur. And that's good for you because Blur steals. Goosebumps, standards give them back.